welcome to the September session of the 2022 Dine, Learn, and Move virtual experience. And since we've changed seasons, I'll say happy fall to all. My name is Trina Frazier, and I'm with the Prince George's County Health Department. On behalf of the Dine, Learn, and Move Collaborative Partnership, I'm here tonight supported by a team from the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, Department of Parks and Recreation, Prince George's County, Suburban Hospital, and the University of Maryland Capital Region Health. We're so glad you can join us this evening to learn about this month's topic, what's the verdict on vitamins? Whether this is your first time with us, or if you are a returning participant, we hope you have a wonderful experience tonight. We are using Zoom webinar for tonight's session. Using Zoom webinar means all participants will remain on mute throughout the evening. You will be able to submit questions and/or comments throughout the session at any time by typing in the chat box, which you can find at the bottom of your screen. So we're going to take a moment before we begin just to test out the chat box feature, and I'm going to ask you to put your zip code in the chat box. Okay. Okay, so we see 20746, 20772. 745-21-20716. Okay, we see a lot of different zip codes. And the thing about this program with extending our reach, we really want to see all different parts of the county where residents are joining us. So thank you for putting your zip codes in the chat box. Okay, so we're going to move on. And next, we're going to test another feature. We're going to take a quick poll. We also want to know questions such as, is this your first time with us at Dine, Learn, and Move? So I'm going to launch a poll. Okay. Maybe a few more seconds. Okay, I'll just wait another second. We're almost there. Have a few more responses. Okay. Okay, so wonderful. I'm going to end the poll. All right. So we see about 33% of you all. This is your first time attending Dine, Learn, and Move. So we will give you a warm welcome. We hope you enjoy tonight's session. And those that are returning, we're glad to see you back this month. So continue to spread the word about Dine, Learn, and Move. Okay, so we're going to move forward. Okay, so this evening we have a full lineup of presentations and activities for you. And we're going to cover ways to make time for both physical activity and healthy eating. Okay, so first, Sakina is here this month to share some fitness tips on the importance of stretching. Then she will lead us in a live Zumba workout. This segment of tonight's program is brought to you by the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, Department of Parks and Recreation, Prince George's County. Okay. Part 2 will be 20 minutes of health education. So we're going to hear from our favorite registered dietitian, Sherma. Sherma will be telling us the best way to obtain certain sources of nutrients and how much is recommended for our overall health. This segment is brought to you by the Prince George's County Health Department. Part 3, we're going to wrap up our session tonight with a live cooking demonstration from Chef Roz. Chef Roz will create 2 nutritious meals that are sure to give us all the vitamins and minerals that we need. This segment is brought to you by our health system partners, the University of Maryland, Capital Region Health, and Suburban Hospital. Okay, so as we begin, the next face that you see on the screen will be Sakina, but Sakina is going to share some fitness tips with us before she leads us in Zumba. And I just would like to remind you that since we're using Zoom webinar again, we will not be able to see you while you're moving, but we want you to continue to follow the safe reminders we have for you. Get your water, clear your space so there's nothing to trip on, and move at your own pace. Don't be afraid to take a break or posture modification when you need it. And most importantly, have fun. Okay, so I am going to turn it over to Sakina.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me. I was trying to share my screen again. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Sakina, and I'm happy to be here today. I'm going to go over some fitness tips with you all on the importance of stretching. A lot of people feel that stretching is not important, that you don't need it, and that is a total lie. You need your stretches in, I would say, daily. I am a yoga instructor, so in addition to Zumba, I do a lot of stretching. One of the main reasons you need stretching is because it keeps your muscles flexible, strong, and healthy, and it also allows you to have a good range of motions within your joints. With that good range of motion, it keeps you from having injuries or being susceptible to injury. So if you fall or if you twist your ankle or something like that, you probably won't get as injured because you are stretching. As I said earlier, stretching is a good way for relaxing. It's a good thing to do after work. If you're sitting all day, it's phenomenal because it's good for your hips and your back. And lastly, if you do different types of workouts, stretching is good to help you build muscle. So it's like the yin to the yang of doing the strenuous workouts like the HIIT and lifting weights and things like that. So with all that being said, I just want to stress the importance of stretching, whether you're just a novice athlete or someone just starting out. Just try to take some time during your day and stretch out, okay? So now that that's done, we're going to get started and do about a 15-17 minute Zumba class. We're going to have a warm-up song, a cool-down song, and 3 songs in between. Go at your own pace. Always remember it is your workout, and let's get it going. March it out.
So girl, come wine for me, let's burn up the boat. Make it jump or sweat, tell you hot like fire. We love when you turn up the club. Make it jump or sweat, just get up on the speaker, wind up, jump in the crowd. Make it jump or sweat, feel positive vibes every time some turn it up low. Make it jump or sweat, so girl, come wine for me, come wine for me, come wine for me, let's go. So girl, come wine for me, come wine for me, come wine for me, let's go. So girl, come wine for me, come wine for me, come wine for me, come wine for me, come wine for me. Make it jump or sweat, turn up. cómo fue que la conocí. Fue horrible, fue horrible. Una noche de esa cuando salí, me voló el coco cuando la vi. Me hizo un hechizo con esa cola, luego me dijo yo soy Polola. ¿Y quién es Polola? Lola, meto, quién es meto, late, quién es late, coco, quién es coco, si te que te mete, quién te mete oro, quién es oro, dame el tesoro. Polola, 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 tú eres una guerrera, tú eres una campeona.
Polola, Polola, Polola.
Tú eres una malvada, por eso estás sola. Polola, 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 roba corazones, tú eres una ladrona.
Polola, Polola, Polola.
Si con un atraco, aquí tengo la pistola. Aquí tengo la pistola. Aquí tengo la pistola. Aquí tengo la pistola. Arriba la mano, que tengo la pistola. Viene, monte, traigo el machete. Quiere fuego, traigo el juguete. A la chimenea le damos leña, leña, leña. Uy, la cigüeña. Ella no busca más nada, pendiente de nada. Tiene la carita, tiene el cuerpo ideal. Robando corazones, es una profesional. Pendiente de nada, pendiente de nada. No busca más nada, pendiente de nada. Tiene la carita, tiene el cuerpo ideal. Robando corazones, es una profesional. Pendiente de nada. Polola, 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 tú eres una guerrera, tú eres una campeona. Polola, 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 tú eres una malvada, por eso estás sola. Polola, 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 roba corazones, tú eres una ladrona. Polola, 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 si con un atraco, aquí tengo la pistola. Aquí tengo la pistola. Aquí tengo la pistola. Aquí tengo la pistola. Arriba la mano, que tengo la pistola. Ella no roba tu cartera, no quiere tu carro, ni tu reloj, ni tus zapatos. Ella te roba el corazón cuando te
I said, chicken, chicken.
chiqui, 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 chiqui,
Oh, Ramiro.
¡Ay, Dios mío! Se me fue el aire. Polola, 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 tú eres una guerrera, tú eres una campeona. Polola, 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 tú eres una malvada, por eso estás sola. Polola, 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 roba corazones, tú eres una ladrona. Polola, 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 si con un atraco, aquí tengo la pistola. Aquí tengo la pistola. Aquí tengo la pistola. Aquí tengo la pistola. Primer intento, métele lento. ¿Y quién es Polola? Lo lamento. ¿Quién es mento? Meto late. ¿Quién es late? Coco. ¿Quién es coco? Se te mete. ¿Quién te mete oro? ¿Quién es oro? Dame el tesoro. Segundo intento, métele rápido. ¿Y quién es Polola? Lo lamento. ¿Quién es mento? Meto late. ¿Quién es late? Coco. ¿Quién es coco? Se te mete. ¿Quién te mete oro? ¿Quién es oro? Dame el tesoro. Sube el volumen, mi jockey. Esto es viral como la gripe. Cantan como los dioses. Bailan como la diosa. ¡Apláudenlo!
Let's keep it moving.
Tick, tick, boom. We're bringing the noise. Go, baby, we bringing our toys. Separate men from the boys. Chop up the fingers, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no time out. Tell me who we gon' find out. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ape going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You
man is so quiet.
We can ride.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go, ain't going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. Tick, tick, boom.
You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go, ain't going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Tick, tick, boom.
Bossy, bossy, Godfather, man a OG, man a half humble, man a bossy. Fling a rag a rhythm like it's all free. Bossy, house on the coast G. My money so long it doesn't know me. It's looking at my kids like a bossy.
Hey yo, Idris, tell them what they're gonna take the piss. One step you step out to that turn up in a dish. Body comfortable and me physically fit. I'm a bad sweet just like the chocolate. Yo, Wiley, them ones sound like me. They done a pretty with the upper body. Shut down in the city with me bad girl pussy. Every man want a piece of me. The back of them a pop and them a bun weed. Man want wine behind me have to move kind dusty. I'm looking for a brother who got hella pound. 079 baby, I'm a hammer to the side.
Hey, boss it, boss it.
Godfather, man a OG, man a half humble, man a bossy. Fling a rag a rhythm like it's all free. Bossy, house on the coast G. My money so long it doesn't know me. It's looking at my kids like a bossy.
Hey yo, Sean.
Hey, so when we spit the body with it, maybe gotta get with it. Spit the body with it, maybe gotta get. When we spit the body with it, maybe gotta get with it. Wind up your body, get with it. Girl, when you bubble like a trouble ball, you give me this something now, turn it around and bring it. You press it back on and never push that button, my girl down, but I can't take it. Once you broke out and fling it. Once your body shaking up to the limit. Once you wild out to wild it to head to the beat, Steph London and mid and edges. Is it?
Bossy, bossy.
Hey,
Do my thing, Sabi put me on the gram and I
remix it.
Boy, Chai Wiley with the Pacino flow. Godfather part 2, call me De Niro. I came to win, battle weed, that's a sin. Disrespect, man, get a slap on the chin. Man a king in a drop, oh Larry, man a big DJ, Ox, Megan and Harry. Man a bossy, I make a girl melt like a toasty. I'll be this way someday, and I write for myself, no ghosting.
These a boy got money in a bank on. Ready to roll and blaze up this tank on. Got the girls from someone to Hong Kong.
Hit those eyes. Hey, boss it, boss it.
Godfather, man a OG, man a half humble, man a bossy. Fling a rag a rhythm like it's all free. Bossy, house on the coast G. My money so long it doesn't know me. It's looking at my kids like a bossy. I fly around the world cause I'm bossy. I'm bossy, bossy. Godfather, man a OG, man a half humble, man a bossy. Fling a rag a rhythm like it's all free. Bossy, house on the coast G. My money so long it doesn't know me. It's looking at my kids like a bossy. I fly around the world cause I'm bossy.
Baila como si nadie está mirando. Baila como si nadie está mirando. Como si nadie está mirando. Como si nadie está mirando. Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah. Let's go. Mueve lo que se pegota, nena. Mueve lo que se pegota. Mueve lo que se pegota, nena.
Stepping that right foot forward.
Because the last thing I want is thinking that it's time that I leave the border. So let's break it up tonight, break it up tonight. Baby, let's roll it, let it go, take it up tonight, break it up tonight. Baby, you know you're tired, no, I'm tired. Let's break it up tonight, break it up tonight. Baby, it's warm outside these walls, baby, it's warm outside these doors, yeah. Let's take this tonight, let's face it tonight. Baby, you know what you're fighting for, baby, you know what I'm fighting for. You know I have the world to pay, and I know I gotta go ahead and take some time. Because the last thing I want is thinking that it's time that I leave the border. So let's break it up tonight, break it up tonight. Baby, let's roll it, let it go, roll it, let it go. Take it up tonight, break it up tonight.
Okay, wow, Zakina, that was a fun workout. I know I was doing the workout behind the scenes, so I hope all of you at home had an opportunity to move at home and enjoy that workout. All right, we're going to keep going. I'm going to turn it over to Sherma, that's going to tell us what's the verdict on vitamins. Take it away, Sherma.
Hello, could you hear me? I'm still just kind of cooling down from that workout. And you know, that's my favorite type of music. So I had to be on. Okay, what's the verdict about vitamins? Oh, I'm still cooling down. So thank you, thank you for that. What's the verdict about vitamins? We hear so much about vitamins and we take in, you know, a whole lot of vitamins, and most of us don't even realize what are they. Vitamins are just a small, I would say, macronutrients that the body needs. In order to be like the major nutrients are like your carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fats. But they need these major nutrients. Larger bodies need some vitamins to help them function better. It's like your car. You have gas in your car and you fill up with the prices now with how many gallons your gas can hold, but you need to get those engine oil and those transmission fuels and stuff like that. Those are smaller amounts, but without those, the car would not function. Okay, so this is the same thing with your body. You got your larger nutrients, and then you have the smaller nutrients, which is your vitamins and minerals. And most of you are not aware that there are two different classes of vitamins. One is called fat-soluble vitamins, and the other is called water-soluble. Now, the fat-soluble vitamins has to be dissolved in some sort of a fatty materials. Let's look at the next slide, please. So when we are looking at where do we get these fat-soluble vitamins, what are they? And they are very common vitamins. Vitamin A, D, E, and K are your fat-soluble vitamins. And we don't take it for granted because we have food sources that you will get these vitamins from. Yeah, let's look at some of them. Vitamin A, you can get it from some of your milk sources and some dark green leafy vegetables. So is vitamin D, you can get it from milk and your eggs, and vitamin E and K also from vegetable sources. And the main functions of these, if you look at it carefully, the vitamin A and vitamin D really functions with your bones. They help with your bones and your teeth. My biggest problem, and I had to do my own little research with this vitamin A, D, E, and K, is go to your pantry and pull out your vitamins and see what's on the back of it. See if you're getting the amount that you need. The FDA has a rule, and it's called the DV, the daily value. How much do you need? And I had to go in, and I'll do D first. And I had vitamin D here, and I have two different types of vitamin D. So when I looked at the back of it, I said, well, how much vitamin D do I actually need? And vitamin D actually is a sunshine vitamin. We usually get it from outside. If we are outside long enough, we would, and it's absorbed better in the sunlight. But sometimes we have to take it because during the winter months, as the fall is here, no, we're not getting enough sunshine. So I looked at this vitamin D here just to give an idea to see how much do we need, so I can be honest and upfront with you. One, the vitamin D I have is D3, and it says 1,000 international unit, and one says 2,000 international units. So now when I look at the back of it, where it will say supplement facts, please go at the back of your vitamins and look at where it says supplement facts. It will give you exactly how much, what is the percent of daily value, and how much you're getting. And needless to say, this one has, I'm getting 250% of the daily value. This one, I'm getting 125%. Do I actually need all of that if I'm eating regular foods? We have to be mindful of what we are putting in and how much. Do your body, could your body really process that amount of vitamin D in your system? And because this is a fat soluble vitamin, it is not, the body can store some of it. It can be stored in the body. There are some that would not be able to store. So be mindful of your fat soluble vitamins, your body can store them. And if you mean that your body can store it, what happens is that we can go into a lot of problems. For instance, if we eat excessive amount of vitamin K is a clotting factor. If you're taking medication that was supposed to be thinning the blood, then we have some problem here. Because one, you want the blood to be thin, and this one is thickening the blood. So the medication is going to interfere with the medication that you're taking. So be mindful, if you're taking excessive amount of vitamin K, what may happen? Excessive amount of vitamin D, a lot of times we thought we get headaches and we have problems with, different organs. Excessive amount of vitamin A can cause liver damage, and it helps, it may reduce your bone strength. So you cannot take excessive amount of vitamin A. Okay, even some of the supplements that we are taking, read up on it first. I know you may have a disease where you are some conditions where your doctor may say you need excessive amount of, you need extra iron, or you may need extra vitamins. Please check with them first. But the biggest one I always remind people is, if you're taking any blood thinner, look at your vitamin K. And sometimes your doctor would say, or the back of, they will give you a handout and say, do not eat excessive amount of these dark green leafy vegetables because they are high in vitamin K. So be mindful of that. So, the functions of your vitamins is very important. So look at it and be mindful of that. Now let's look at water-soluble vitamins. Your water-soluble vitamins are mostly your B complex vitamins. Your B1, 2, 3, B6, B12. These vitamins cannot be stored in your body. So the body would get rid of it very quickly. So, not very quickly, but sometimes if you retain in a lot of fluid, sometimes these vitamins, or you're taking in a lot, it may be, you may lose it very quickly. So the good sources, again, you'll find the B complex vitamins are mostly meat sources. You still can get it from plant-based also, which is good. That's why when people are major vegans or vegetarian, the doctor and their iron stores are low, the doctor may ask them to take some B vitamins, B complex vitamins, and they may come in a combination of all three, the thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, And, all of these may be combined in one in B12, but you'll see that they're basically mostly meat products. And having meat products, you need to be mindful of the amount of fat that you're taking in, even though these are water-soluble vitamins, and you need the fat for the fat-soluble vitamins, but it's the type of fat. Animal fats can clog up your arterial walls. So if you're getting animal fat, your poultry, any of your meats, make sure it is lean and remove any visible fats that is in there. There are other good sources of the B complex. You can get it in some of your dark green leafy vegetables. You can get it from some milk and some dairy products. You can get some B complex vitamins. Also, be mindful that, on some of these vitamins, the foods that we eat, the manufacturer have already added some vitamins. You'll say extra added sources of B or extra added sources of vitamin C. Vitamin C, if you go to the next slide, is also another source of water-soluble vitamins. And I always go with this. I'm a little bit picky with vitamin C because everybody's using excessive amount of vitamin C because it says that it will build up your immune system. When COVID came in, vitamin C went off the chain. Everybody was buying vitamin C. And this is one of the easiest vitamins that we can get into our system. But we went out, and this is from my family. I didn't buy them, but when you live in a family and they don't ask you because I'm the nutritionist, they went and they buy their own. I see somebody bought vitamin C for 1,000 milligrams, and this one had 500 milligrams of vitamin C. Now, when I look in the back of it, as I said, always look at the facts. Always look at the supplemental facts. This one that has 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, do you know what the daily value is? This one, taking one of these tablets, you get an 1,100%. Do you hear me? Percent of vitamin C. If you take this 1,000 milligrams, we take it for the common cold because we said it's going to help it's going to help us build up from the flu and all of that. But remember, this is water soluble, and water soluble means that your body's going to get rid of it. So when you take in 1,000 milligrams, 1,000% of the daily requirement, and then you still drink 4 ounces of orange juice, or you drink, have a piece of fruit, you're getting way over the daily requirements that you need. If you just get 1 orange, will give you 45% of the daily requirement. So here we are going in excessive amount of the vitamin C. What is this doing to us? We're spending more money and to put into our body and then getting rid of it. We're talking about everything's so much expensive right now, but this is where we spend a lot of our money on excessive amount of vitamins and that we don't need. If we eat a well-balanced meal, all we need to eat is to get half your plate with vegetables. You get 4 servings of fruits a day. You get, if you're allergic to milk or you can't drink milk, then you get, almond milk or any one of the plant-based milk. Now, plant-based milk do not have enough calcium and vitamin D, but it is added. When you buy those plant-based milk, almond milk or soy milk, look at the label to make sure it states on there added amount, added calcium, and added vitamin D. I know for sure, I've looked at it, it will say most of them will have about 35% of the calcium and vitamin D added. So if you drink 1 glass of that, you're getting almost half. If you drink 2 or you add it to your food preparation, you'll be getting more than half of what you need for your daily requirement of your vitamins and minerals. So be mindful of what you're looking at. Your vitamin, your biotin and your folate, folic acids and pantothenic acids, you can get them from your greens and also from your organ meats. And these help in helping your body form the red blood cells. That's why most people say you'll find out that when your iron is low, they'll say get some B12, or you can get some iron supplements. So be mindful of that, that you watch what you eat first before you go out and spend excessive money on vitamins and minerals that your body don't need. So let's look at the next slide, please. So you heard me talk about minerals. I say vitamins and minerals. But what are minerals? Minerals are exactly what it says. It's like I would usually call it rocks and pebbles from the soil. It is from the soil, and it is what helps. It helps your body to utilize the other vitamins and minerals in your system. It also requires just a small amount. It is not a whole lot. Iron, zinc, your sodium, potassium, magnesium. These are minerals. And, we think that we have to get a lot of it. It is not. It's 100, maybe you'll see that when they measure it on your vitamin bottle, it will say micro or milli. It will say micrograms or international units, which are very small units. But in today's society, the manufacturers and everybody is saying that, oh, if you take extra amount of zinc, it will help with your Alzheimer's. Or if you take extra folic acid, it may improve your brain process. So when we hear of all of these things, we want to, instead of taking a portion of it, in addition to what you're eating, we go for the mega doses. And the mega doses is not doing anything. What happened with the mega doses? It goes into your toilet, and your toilet is the healthiest thing out. It goes back into the environment. The FDA has specific dietary rulings regarding supplements. It tells you, if you're not sure about it, go Google, check the FDA reading on, well, how much of this should I take? And what's the best form should I buy it in? If we go with that, then we'll be a much smarter consumer in when we are purchasing some of these vitamins and minerals and or supplements, as some people may want to call it. It is really important that you also, if you are buying something that without the FDA signal on it, be aware of what's in it. They are products that come from overseas, from different countries, and they are not as specific as our FDA ruling. So we have had some products that came from China, India, and they are sold in different small stores. And in order to pass through FDA, you have to be in bulk. So if they come in smaller quantities, nobody's really checking out to say, well, okay, I'm going to be micromanaging the corner store to see that they're getting something. If the label is a homemade printed label, you know that it has not been tested by the FDA. And there may be some foreign particles in it that may be dangerous to your body. We have seen that some places have people have purchased, we call it like herbs and spices, and they weren't aware of where it was manufactured from. And what happened is that they got very, very ill with it. So be mindful of when you're getting these products, where did they come from? Is it, did you see any label from saying that it was an FDA label sticker on it? Be mindful. We have, besides mineral, we have things that's called antioxidants, and they are still, the antioxidants are similar to the minerals. They are the same, they have the same formula. They have some calcium. You can get it also in some of your vitamin C's, but they help to protect. They are like the protection for your body. So we need to be aware of that. I'm just going to want to talk a little bit before I finish on herbs and supplements, herbs and spices. These are the things that I say we purchase from the corner store, and it may have, I'm from the Caribbean, and I know we are very familiar with that. we will go to the Caribbean store or to the international market, and there will be products that will say bay leaf, or it may say chive or thyme or allspices, and it's just a homemade label. We don't know who produced it. How was these food gathered? Was it in a safe environment? Were these people's hands clean? Was it in an environment where the soil was really good soil? We have to be so careful with that. Be mindful of that. We need herbs and spices. The herbs and spices, the herbs are usually small branches or small trees that or leaves from different plants. And in your country, yes, you may use it because you go to your own backyard and you picked it yourself. But when it comes to this country and you don't know where it is, be mindful of that. The spices are great because spices have been around for hundreds of years, if you go back, and it adds flavors to your food. It's good because when you add the spices to your food, then you eliminate a lot of sometimes of the salt, which people who have high blood pressure may be will be happy about. So be mindful of that, but you got to take precautions of when we are using herbal supplements rather than using supplements that are prescribed by the FDA or by the FDA ruling. Also, I am aware that some diseases, your doctor may ask you to get excessive amount of or take because of what your issues are. Be mindful, that's okay. If you have a low calcium level and he wants you to increase your calcium for whatever reason, then you go to the store, you ask, how much calcium should I take? I know people, sometimes if you have thyroid problems, you may need extra amount of calcium. So what is the extra amount? It's not going to be 100 or 1100% is needed because your body will get rid of it. Or the same thing with iron. If you're using, excessive amount of iron, that could also be a problem. So be mindful of that. A lot of times, sometimes when people take excessive amount of iron, they may end up getting nauseated and vomiting, and they're not sure what is causing it. They rarely go back to the vitamins. They may look at the food. Well, what did I eat? And how much did I eat? Instead of looking at. But these are some of the problems with taking excessive amount of your vitamins. Also, I just want to make sure that I just touch briefly. I know people always ask about protein supplements. That's a whole different topic. If you need it and your body needs it, it's okay. But excessive amount of it is also can play a significant role on your kidney, on your liver. Those are major organs that we have to be mindful of and take care of. Your best bet, the best thing to do, the bottom line is vitamins and supplements are necessary. However, if you eat a well-balanced diet, it's not, the excess that you're taking is not needed. If you take a vitamin or mineral supplement, go with the minimum amount. If you go with 100%, it's fine, but going with over 1,000%, that is excessive. And your body has to do a lot more work to get rid of it. Okay, any questions? I know I'm going over my time, so I will answer any questions that you may have now. And I just want you to say, look at what our chef is being prepared today. I looked at the recipe, and believe it or not, the recipes that she has, 20% of it also has vitamin E, 40% of vitamin K, 41% of the vitamin C, around 59% of your folate, and 50% of your B6. So even that small amount that she's being prepared for us, look at the amount of nutrients that we are getting from that portion. And that's just one meal. So think of what we are eating. The best bet, as I said, is to eat your healthy meals. Try to get in as much of your fruits, vegetables. If you're eating animal products, make sure it's lean. And if you're eating your beans and peas and legumes, will give you your good sources of protein and also some of your B complex vitamins. Thank you. Any questions?
There's two comments in here. One person, I'm not sure if this is a question or not, but it says sea moss good for you. So I don't know if they're asking if sea moss is good for you.
Okay, sea moss, and again, that's one of the things. Sea moss is it is good for you. It's high in an antioxidant and some minerals. However, you have to know where the sea moss came from, because there are some sea moss, depending on the country it comes from, it may be high in iodine. And if you're taking medication, some medication, it may interfere with that. So you have to be able to find out, where did the sea moss come from? How was it, cured or preserved before we make it? If you are in the country where you can actually get the sea moss, where I'm come from, I know I can go to the beach, I can see the sea moss coming off the beach, and I know it is. But when it is shipped to another country, there is going to be some packing and some storage issues. So it has to be stored, and they usually spray it with something to keep it, to preserve it, to keep it dry, and to prevent it from being molded. So you have to find out, make sure that the quality that you're getting is a good from a reputable company.
Gotcha. And then another question that came in says, but the manufacturers only make high doses. For example, how many tablets of 250 milligram magnesium per week should I take?
Well, it depends on, I'm not going to make a recommendations of how much you should take, but you need to look at the label, and I don't know what your condition is, but the manufacturer do make smaller doses. It's just that but they promote the higher doses because it is more costly and you have to spend more money. So if you see on the label, the magnesium, if you buy something that says 500 milligrams of whatever vitamins, and they say take 2, then you take 1. Or you take half of it and see. A lot of times when we take excessive amount of it, if you take excessive amount of your B vitamins, look at your stool and take a look at, I know we don't like to look at our poop, but look at it and see, it's going to be dark and it's going to be black. That is telling you that it's all coming out in the toilet. When you take excessive amount of vitamin C's, you look at your urine, it's going to be yellowish. It's not going to be, your urine's supposed to be clear and very light. But when we take mega doses of these vitamins, look at what the end product is. Check your toilet. Your urine is going to be really dark, orangish, and the stool is going to be very dark or black.
All right, we got another question that came in. My B12 label is 250 mcg. I believe that's micrograms.
Yes, micrograms. Well, that's
that
not
too much or okay?
No, that's not bad.
All right, and then let me see if this is
well, I'm glad you it seems like you ran to your cabinet and started looking at. I want to put that fear in you that yes, it seems like a lot of people went to their cabinet and checked out what their and it doesn't matter what people are going to talk about which brand, whether you buy this is Nature's brand or you buy the CVS brand. One of the things you look for when you're looking at brand and you go into the store and this one is going to be cheap and this one, but they always say it's Nature brand or whichever brand or GNC brand is more expensive. You look at the bottom in the bottom of the ingredients, bottom here. Oh, where am I looking? Look at it, and then you look at both of them and see what are the difference. They will have the same thing. Like this one here has the same thing. The ingredients is cellulose, maltodextrose. This one is cellulose, maltodextrose. So it has the same ingredient. If they have the same ingredient, and you buy the one that you can, it's costly to you, it's less costly to you. So you don't have to go with this big name brand name. If it's Giant brand or if it's CVS brand or whichever brand, always look at the bottom of it, the ingredients, and see if it is the same. They may have 1 or 2 minute difference. And for that, it's not going to cost you an extra $5. I have seen it, the cost for the different brand names, it is very expensive. Well, thank you. I will be at the end. If you have any questions, we will definitely answer it after.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sharma. That was some great information about vitamins, minerals, and the sources. So without further ado, we are going to move forward to the finale. Chef Roz, and Chef Roz has our live cooking demo for us tonight. So I'm just going to turn it over to you, Chef.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. That is so amazing. So much amazing information, Chef Roz. And I'm just going to get right to it so that we won't, I can get through these wonderful recipes because these are two of my favorite. The one is the succulent spinach recipe, which is full of vitamins and minerals. But then my most newfound recipe is my cauliflower steak. And so the cauliflower has become, you know, a big item in the eating world, in the nutrition world, right? Because it's taken the place of the potatoes in a lot of cases. And so this is a very pretty cauliflower. You want to get a large head of cauliflower if you can. Now, just like everything else, everything is going up, very expensive. The foods are. But, and then also one thing I want to say about the cauliflower is sometimes you can find them at the store and they're real tiny, real small. But to make a real nice, a couple of nice pieces of steak, cauliflower steak, you really need to have a nice size cauliflower. So you're going to actually get a couple of steaks from this, but then you're going to use your florets. And so let's go. I'm going to show you how to cut it. Now you're going to cut away the stems. You're going to cut away the stems. And so while I'm speaking, I'm just going to say this. Make sure that you wash your hands really nicely, you know, sanitize your hands. And when you get home with your cauliflower and your produce, make sure you wash it really nicely as well. Wash your hands all the way up to your elbows, and then wash your produce as well. All right, so I cut the stems off. See, I cut the stems. And now what you're going to do, you want to have a really nice large center in the middle. You should have a large center. And so you're going to take a really good knife and just cut it down the center. And so then you have your two halves. I don't know, I think my lighting is too bright here. So you are, oh, there we go. You can see it like that. All right, anyway, let me keep going. Now, what you're gonna do now, it depends on you as far as how thick you want your steak, but I'm just gonna cut it about a ½ an inch thick. ½ an inch thick. Yes, all right. So that's one. You're gonna get probably about 4. That's if you have a really nice size cauliflower. And then don't worry about it if your florets break up. Don't worry about it. It's just something a little fancy that you're gonna do. All right, so I'm cutting the other half. All right, so now I'm just gonna have all of that just laid out there, really nice. So now I'm gonna make my sauce. And this is the fun part here. Let me move this over. This is the fun part. Now, in the sauce, I'm going to put, so I actually shop at Lidl for this cauliflower because, like I said, everything is kind of going up a little expensive. So I found the lemon juice. Now on the recipe, which you will receive the recipe after class or sometime tomorrow. But I found this lemon juice. You can use lemon juice from a lemon. If you have fresh lemons, just go ahead, roll it, cut it, squeeze all of the lemon juice out. Just one lemon, that's all you need. Or if you have 100% lemon juice, which I found at Lidl, it'll work as well. So I'm going to really point out a couple of shopping tips to make this a little bit more doable for the pocketbook. All right. All right. So next, I'm going to use some chili powder. The chili powder is a half a teaspoon of chili powder. So I have my lemon juice, and then I have my half a teaspoon of chili powder. Then I'm going to use smoked paprika. Smoked paprika. I got this from Lidl. I think it was 99 cents, something like this. 99 cents. I'm using 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. And I love the smell of smoked paprika, so good. And this is part of what Sherman was saying about your seasonings and spices. It just makes the food taste totally amazing. Then I'm going to use some garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. Garlic is great for, it's a cardiovascular spice. Using that. And juice, honey, 1 teaspoon of honey. Honey, now honey can be very expensive also as well, but we're gonna use some honey, kind of make it a little sweet. Haha, a lot sweet. Garlic powder, chili powder, juice of a lemon, smoked paprika, your cauliflower, your honey. And now we're gonna use 1/4 cup of olive oil. 1/4 cup of olive oil. And I'm using cilantro. Now, you can use fresh cilantro, just get the fresh leaves and cut it up really nicely, or you can get dried cilantro. It's a little bit less expensive if you use dried cilantro, and that's 2 tablespoons of dried cilantro in there. Ah, yes, yes, yes. And then a pinch or 2 of black pepper. Black pepper. Now I'm going to go ahead and stir this. Kind of mix it, mix it, mix it. Yes. Now, if you notice, I did not use any salt. Salt is optional, but it's not good for you if you're experiencing hypertension, on blood pressure medicine. But your herbs and spices should do this pretty nicely with your lemon juice. It's going to make it taste phenomenal. Now, over here in my pan, I am going to just add a little bit more of olive oil in my pan, just a little bit. Now, here's my cauliflower steak. I'm going to dip it. Both sides. Dip it, dip it. And put it over in my pan. Nice. And then what you're going to do is you can make your batter, your sauce again with, just repeat it and then put your florets in the pan along with it while it's cooking. So you're going to just bathe your steak in your nice herbs and seasonings. Put it in the pan. Can you all see that? Can you see that? Who? I don't know who I'm talking to.
Yeah, we can see it.
Oh, good, good. I'm just gonna go each side, bathe it. Now you're gonna have to let it cook. You're gonna let it cook a little bit until it gets a nice consistency. Now, I like mine a little crunchy. I don't think it would be just my preference. I don't think it would be that great if it's real soft. I like my consistency crunchy, and then the vitamins are staying in there pretty nicely. And speaking of vitamins, my cauliflower is full of vitamin B6. Also, 100% vitamin C you can find in the cauliflower. Vitamin C. Nice and golden brown. Look at that. That's pretty. Let me put this last one in here. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil in here. My pan is extra, extra hot. So I'm going to turn it down some. And I'm going to go ahead and cover. I'm going to cover it, and then I'm going to cut up my florets, because I'm going to have the cauliflower pieces. How about that? Cauliflower florets. Because you're not going to waste it. You can't waste all that good vitamin C. It's got vitamin C, vitamin K. It's got calcium in there and some potassium and a lot of good B vitamins. So I'm going to go ahead and make up really quickly some more sauce so that I can put my florets over in here. And I'm just eyeing it. You want to always have a little extra spices and herbs. So I saved some of each ingredient. Paprika. That paprika is going to give it a nice smoky flavor. And then, did I put the garlic in here already? Ah, good stuff. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the oil. Olive oil. It smells amazing in here, you guys. It smells totally amazing. I love it. The one, another ingredient that you could add to it, if you like it, if you're a spicy person and you want to give it a little extra spice, you can add some spicy brown mustard. Spicy brown mustard, it would take it to another level. But everybody doesn't like a spiciness. So it's optional. Look at that. That's your broccoli pieces. So whatever your pleasure is, whatever your desire. Now I tell you what you could do is go ahead and make this up and then let it sit in the refrigerator overnight and let those nice herbs and spices really, really settle in. And I'm telling you, some good eating, good eating. So I'm gonna move over here to the succulent spinach while my cauliflower is cooking here. Let me flip it again. Ah, it smells so good. Oh my goodness. Woo. I am so happy that I'm having this for dinner. I am so happy I'm having this for dinner. Yes, I am. All right. Next, I'm going to, I already have, let me move this guy over here. Now, this recipe is very, very, very easy. Very easy, not many ingredients. And I call it my succulent spinach, succulent spinach. And spinach is good for you. A lot of people eat spinach raw. Some people eat it cooked. I have a lot of people tell me, I don't care for spinach. I just don't like spinach. But what I found out in doing my cooking demonstrations in person when I was doing spinach, and I let my people sample it, that most people developed a dislike for spinach because they were fed spinach from a can, or they were fed, it was just soft and just not good, right? So this particular recipe is amazing, I just must say. All right, so now, what I'm going to give you the ingredients. I am not going to use any sodium, but I am going to use a plant-based butter. Now, as I told you, I shopped at Lidl, and I found out that Country Crock now has a plant-based butter, and it's about $2 cheaper than my favorite, which is the Earth Balance. Earth Balance has gone up. It's like crazy, $6 now for this. But this one was about $3 something at Lidl. So it was about half the price. But plant-based, and why plant-based? Why plant-based? Because plant-based is non-dairy, and dairy seems to clog up some people's sinuses and upper respiratory tract. So I'm an Earth Balance person, and because I'm going to eat this, I'm going to use my Earth Balance. But I did try the Country Crock, and there is comparable. I'm going to go ahead and use, I have 2 tablespoons of this Earth Balance that I'm putting in the pan, 2 tablespoons, Earth Balance, or you can use the Country Crock plant-based butter, but both of them are plant-based, and their base is olive oil, all right? Now, I put that in the pan. Now, what I also have is some onion. I have onion, I already chopped up the onion. Now you can use any onion. You can use a red onion, shallots. You can use a Vidalian onion, a sweet onion, whatever your preference is, all right? If you are cooking on a budget, buy a large onion and use 1/4 of it. That's what I did. I used 1/4 of an onion for this, because the onion, I mean, I'm telling you, everything has gone up. And so you can be mindful of how much you spend and still eat healthy on a budget. Now, also I have mushrooms. Now these are white button mushrooms. You can use shiitake mushrooms, and you're going to use about 1/2 cup of mushrooms. And let me see, because this is more than 1/2 cup. So I'm just going to cut it up some. But you can use shiitake, crimini, white button, portobello, whatever kind of mushrooms you like. And so I'm going to put them in the pan. First, I'm going to put in my spinach. Now, let's talk about the vitamins in spinach. It's vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, full of iron, full of fiber. We're not talking about fiber, but it's definitely full of fiber. So this is baby spinach. And as you know, as you cook your spinach, it's going to cook down. Spinach is going to cook down. But as I was saying, a lot of people like to eat raw spinach, especially in a salad. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you eat too much of it, spinach has what's called oxalic acid. And if you eat a lot of it, it can actually cause kidney stones. So you need to cut it with some type of oil. So my oil is my olive oil that I cut this with. If you're eating it raw in a salad, you want to use a olive oil and vinegar, balsamic vinaigrette, or oil and vinegar dressing. And that will cut down on the oxalic acid. I'm going to go ahead and add my mushrooms. And the mushrooms has a lot of B vitamins, all your B vitamins in it. So mushrooms are very, very good for you. Mushrooms. Then I have my onion. I'm going to drop the onion in here. Onions, vitamin C. You get vitamin C from your onion. And then of course now your tomato. Now I just bought just 1 tomato for this recipe. You know, you can buy, a lot of people think that when you go to the store, they have a bunch of tomatoes or a bunch of something in the produce section. You have to buy the whole bunch. You do not. You do not have to buy the whole bunch. You can buy what you need. So I got one tomato because I was doing this one recipe, and I buy food according to what I'm preparing for the week. So that's my spinach. I'm going to add some garlic to this, garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. Garlic, great for your heart, right? Cardiovascular. And now I got my tomato, which is full of vitamin C. You know, tomatoes are full of vitamin C. Where's my spoon? And now I'm going to just toss. Colorful. Very, very nice. This, I call this your arm exercise. This is your exercise portion of your cooking. Now you don't have to use a wok. You can use a regular pan. This is definitely a different way to make your spinach. And you just need to toss it and toss it. As it heats, you see it wilts down. I love it. This is my favorite. This is one of my favorite first recipes that's in my recipe book. I totally love it. Yeah, somebody said they had frozen spinach. I think I was raised on frozen spinach also. It doesn't take long. See that? Doesn't take long at all. And you see, that was a whole shell. The plastic container is called a shell. It was a whole shell. And now we have this much spinach. Look at that, how nicely it cooked down.
We had one
You
question.
have a question?
Yeah.
Sure.
Someone asked, what can you substitute tomatoes in this recipe?
I use red bell pepper sometimes. Red bell pepper. If you have issues with acid reflux, some people can't digest tomatoes well. So red bell pepper is a great alternative. All right, let me check on my cauliflower steaks. Oh, I'm excited. It is ready. Oh my goodness, let me put it on a plate. Oh my goodness gracious. I am excited. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm excited. Let me see. I'm gonna get a big one.
As you're plating that up, another question came in.
Sure.
We got 2 more questions actually.
Sure.
One said, Chef Ross, you have a recipe book for purchase, and do you post tips on social media?
I certainly do. The answer to that is yes to both of those questions. Yes and yes. So my book is on my website is heavenlybodieslive.com. It's called The Spice Queen's Kitchen. See the Spice Queen? This apron says The Spice Queen. Somebody gave me that name and I just kept it. I am excited about this. I am actually going to make a tuna steak for dinner to go with this for my husband and I. But I'm going to plate this for you guys. But before I bring it over there, what I'm going to do is put this in here because I have some time. I did this quick.
Someone else
All right.
asked, how many servings for both dishes?
So the servings are about probably about 6 servings for the spinach. Just depends on how much you're going to eat. Now, are you if you're preparing it for your family, a large family, the spinach will probably go maybe 6 times. 6 servings. Your cauliflower, probably 2. Probably 2, depending on how much. Now, let me just say this. In your recipe that you all will receive, you are actually, it says in there that you get 2 large cauliflower steaks. You get 2, you purchase 2. So if you purchase 2, then the serving size is going to be 4, at least 4. Let me bring this over here. Any more, is it, you can still ask me the questions. Hopefully people have the questions. Let me see if I can let you all see
No
this
questions
steak.
just yet, but that looks
at that.
amazing.
I'm telling you. Yes, it is one of my favorites. I'm telling you, it's very hot too. I'm not going to embarrass myself, but the broccoli florets. The cauliflower florets, perfect to go along with this. You'll be able to get your baked chicken or your baked fish to go along with this, or salmon. A salmon steak, or as I said, I'm going to prepare in my air fryer a tuna steak. It's going to go right there, right there. All right, sounds
I'm
good.
coming over. I'm coming over, Chef Ross.
You're on your way. You're on your way.
I'm on my way.
Yeah, I'm telling you. You listen. When we go, I don't know. I was going to say when we go back live, we need to repeat this so people can taste it, because it is so good. I'm telling you, so good. All right, well, that's all I have for you all. That's all I have. Any more questions? Any more questions at all?
I don't see any just yet, but someone said looks good, and someone else said really good suggestion for good food.
Yes. Mm. So good. So good. All right. That's all I have. You all have been amazing. Looks good. Yes, yes. And I will see you the next time. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming.
Okay,
Thank you, Chef. And please notice that the chef plate, it had half of it was vegetables. So, you know, that's what we are looking. She already plated out for you. Half your plate with vegetables, and you had your steak. So, and the vitamins and minerals were all in that one packed meal. So enjoy.
All right, so thank you again, Chef Roz. This was definitely another great night. We know you learned a lot and even got an opportunity to interact with the fitness and the cooking demo, but we asked one thing of you, and we would like you to tell us more about your experience by taking a few minutes to complete the evaluation, the Dine, Learn, and Move program evaluation, as you log off tonight. The survey is anonymous, but you do have the option of leaving us your name at the end. And next month, we will select the winner from those who have completed the evaluation as a token of our appreciation. Okay, so next, okay, you will see a wheel come up, and the wheel you're about to see is filled with the names of those who completed the evaluation from our last month's session and left their name at the end. Okay, so again, remember, next month, you'll only see your name on the wheel if you complete tonight's survey and leave your name with us. But right now, we're going to celebrate an August participant who completed the evaluation. So I'm going to say to Tanisha, spin that wheel. And let's see who our winner is for August. All right, Dottie McCrae. Hopefully I said that correctly. Dottie McCrae, you're our August winner. Thank you so much for participating and leaving your name. And what you will receive from the University of Maryland Capital Region Health will sponsor this month's prize. And you'll receive a market tote, resistant bands, portion control cup, and a to-go salad cup. All right. So our team will follow up with you by email to make sure that you receive your gift. So what to expect next steps in the next few days, each of you will receive an email with a link to tonight's program. You'll receive another copy of tonight's recipes, as well as the other resources that we saw throughout this evening's program. Our hope is that you will use these resources to help support your wellness throughout the month until we meet again. All right, so in closing, we just would like to thank you all for joining and wish you a great night.